How a spirit chooses next parents and soulmate after death, simply explained. The idea of a spirit choosing its next parents and soulmate after death is largely speculative and rooted in various spiritual, philosophical, and religious traditions. It doesn't have a unified explanation across all belief systems, but here's a simplified breakdown of how different ideas approach this topic. In reincarnation-based beliefs, commonly found in Hinduism, Buddhism, and some New Age philosophies, the idea of a soul's journey through multiple lifetimes is central. Here's an exploration of how these traditions view the process of a soul choosing parents and soulmates after death. 1. Hinduism. Soul's journey. In Hinduism, the soul, Atman, is believed to undergo a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara. The ultimate goal is to attain moksha, or liberation, from this cycle. Choosing parents. While Hinduism doesn't explicitly teach that the soul actively chooses its parents, it is believed that a soul is drawn to a specific family or set of parents due to karmic reasons. Karmic actions from past lives influence the soul's new circumstances, including the family it is born into. The parents may provide the necessary conditions for the soul to work out past karma, or they may offer the teachings and environment needed for spiritual growth. Choosing soulmates. The concept of soulmates in Hinduism is tied to the idea of karma and reincarnation. Souls may reincarnate together across lifetimes to resolve unfinished business, form relationships, or fulfill certain dharma, spiritual duties. The connection between soulmates is often seen as a spiritual bond that transcends mere romantic attraction, and it can involve familial ties or deep friendships as well. 2. Buddhism. Soul's journey. Buddhism teaches the doctrine of anatta, or no self, meaning there is no permanent, unchanging soul. Instead, it is the consciousness, or vijnana, that continues through cycles of rebirth based on karma. The ultimate goal in Buddhism is to achieve nirvana, a state of liberation from suffering and rebirth. Choosing parents. In Buddhist thought, the process is slightly different due to the absence of an eternal soul. The continuity of consciousness, karma, influences the next birth. A being is reborn into circumstances that reflect the actions, karma, from previous lives. While there's no direct choice in the conventional sense, the nature of one's past deeds and desires shapes the conditions of their next life, including the family they are born into. Choosing soulmates. While Buddhism doesn't emphasize the concept of soulmates in the same way as Hinduism, it does acknowledge the idea of karmic relationships. Souls may be drawn to certain individuals through shared karmic ties, either as friends, family, or even enemies, to work through unresolved issues and continue their spiritual development. These relationships are viewed as opportunities for both individuals to gain wisdom and advance along the path to nirvana. 3. New Age beliefs. Soul's journey. Many New Age philosophies borrow elements from both Hinduism and Buddhism, as well as from Western spiritual traditions. They believe that the soul undergoes a series of lifetimes to evolve spiritually, often through a process of learning and growth from each incarnation. Choosing parents. In some New Age beliefs, it is said that the soul has a certain level of agency in choosing the family and environment into which it is born. This choice is not random, but is instead based on the lessons the soul needs to learn in its next life. Souls may choose parents who can provide specific challenges or experiences necessary for spiritual growth or healing of past traumas. Choosing soulmates. New Age philosophies often emphasize the idea of soulmates as deeply interconnected souls who are destined to meet again and again through multiple lifetimes. These bonds are believed to transcend the physical realm and are typically centered around spiritual growth, healing, or completing a shared purpose. The soulmates may be romantic partners, but they can also be close friends, family members, or mentors who help each other evolve spiritually. Key concepts across these traditions. Karma. The law of cause and effect governs the soul's journey. The actions of past lives, karma, influence the conditions of the soul's future lives, including family, circumstances, and relationships. Spiritual growth. The primary goal of reincarnation is spiritual evolution. The soul enters a new life with certain lessons to learn, relationships to heal, and karma to resolve. Pre-birth planning. In some New Age beliefs, the soul may actively plan or choose aspects of its next life, including the environment and relationships that will help it fulfill its higher purpose. In summary, While there are slight differences in how reincarnation is viewed across these belief systems, there is a common thread of spiritual growth, karmic influence, and the idea that souls enter into specific lives and relationships based on their past actions and the lessons they need to learn. In Christianity, Islam, and other Abrahamic religions, the concepts of a soul choosing its parents and soulmate after death are generally different from those found in reincarnation-based or New Age beliefs. These traditions emphasize divine will, the role of God, and the purpose of life within the framework of a single existence rather than a cycle of rebirths. Here's how each tradition views these ideas. 1. Christianity. Soul's journey. In Christianity, the soul is created by God, and its ultimate goal is salvation through faith in Jesus Christ. Christians generally believe in an afterlife, where souls are either rewarded in heaven or punished in hell, based on their faith and actions in life. The concept of reincarnation is not part of Christian doctrine. Choosing parents. Christianity doesn't teach that souls choose their parents. Instead, Christians believe that God determines the circumstances of each person's birth, including the family they are born into. This is seen as part of God's divine plan and purpose for the individual's life. Scripture suggests that God has a plan for each person, and their life, including the family and environment they are born into, is designed to fulfill this plan. Example: in the Bible, Psalms 139 verses 13 to 16 speaks of God knowing a person even before they were formed in the womb, indicating that the birth process is divinely orchestrated. Soulmates. In Christianity, the concept of a soulmate is not theologically defined, but there is the idea of marriage being a union created by God. While Christians may not believe in a predestined soulmate, many do believe that God brings individuals together for marriage and companionship. Christian teachings emphasize that a marriage should reflect love, respect, and mutual spiritual growth. Example: in the Bible, Ephesians 5 verses 31 to 32 compares the relationship between husband and wife to the relationship between Christ and the church, underscoring the spiritual importance of marriage. 2. Islam. Soul's journey. Islam teaches that each soul is created by Allah, God, and enters a single, earthly life with the purpose of worshiping and obeying Allah. After death, the soul is judged based on its deeds, and it is either rewarded in paradise or punished in hell. There is no concept of reincarnation in Islam. Choosing parents. Similar to Christianity, Islam holds that God is the ultimate determiner of one's family and circumstances. The Quran teaches that Allah is the one who grants life and chooses where and when a soul is born. Example: the Quran, Surah 76:2, says, "We created man from a sperm drop to test him, and we made him hearing and seeing." This reflects the belief that all aspects of a person's life, including family and environment, are part of God's divine will. Soulmates. Islam does not have the same concept of soulmates as some other religions, but it does teach that marriage is a sacred bond that is predestined by Allah. While individuals do not choose their spouses in the same sense as some New Age beliefs suggest, Allah is believed to guide people to find their rightful spouse. The concept of qadar, divine destiny, plays a role in the belief that Allah has a plan for every individual, including their marital life. Example: in the Quran, Surah 30:21, Allah says, "And among his signs is that he created for you from yourselves mates that you may find tranquility in them." 3. Judaism. Soul's journey. Like Christianity and Islam, Judaism teaches that each soul has a purpose on earth. The goal is to live a righteous life according to the Torah and Jewish law, thereby fulfilling God's will. Jews believe in an afterlife where the soul is judged by God, but they do not accept the concept of reincarnation in the same way that Hinduism or Buddhism does. Choosing parents. Judaism also teaches that the circumstances of one's birth, including the family and lineage, are determined by God's will. Jewish tradition emphasizes that a person's family is part of God's divine plan, and each individual is placed in their unique position in life for a reason. Example: in the Talmud, it is written that a child is born with a certain fate, meaning that the soul's entry into a particular family or situation is part of God's plan. Soulmates. The concept of soulmates in Judaism is somewhat different from the Western romantic notion. In Kabbalistic teachings, there is a belief in a bashert, which refers to a destined or predestined soulmate, often tied to the idea that two souls are meant to come together for a divine purpose. While the idea of a soulmate exists, it is often understood as part of fulfilling a divine mission rather than a romantic ideal. Example: in the Talmud, it is said that 40 days before a child is born, a heavenly voice announces, "The daughter of so-and-so is destined to be the wife of so-and-so." This reflects the idea that marriage partners are divinely predestined. 4. Key concepts across Abrahamic religions. Divine will. All three religions emphasize the role of God, Allah, God, or Yahweh, in determining the circumstances of a person's birth, including the family and environment they are born into. The idea that a soul has autonomy in choosing its parents is not common in these traditions. Instead, life is seen as a gift from God, and the individual's purpose is to live according to divine will. Life purpose. The primary focus in Abrahamic religions is not the idea of reincarnation or choosing future lives, but rather living in a way that fulfills God's plan. The soul's journey is linear, with a focus on morality, obedience, and ultimately the afterlife. Soulmates. While the concept of soulmates does exist in various forms, e.g., Christian marriage, Islamic divine unions, and Jewish bashert, it is often less about predestined romantic relationships and more about fulfilling divine purposes within the context of life's relationships. Summary. Parents. In the Abrahamic faiths, souls are not believed to choose their parents. Instead, the circumstances of a person's birth, including their family, are viewed as part of God's divine plan. Soulmates. While the concept of soulmates exists, it is often viewed within the context of fulfilling divine purposes, e.g., marriage, rather than a predestined, eternal bond that spans multiple lifetimes. The overarching idea in these religions is that life is a gift from God, and the ultimate goal is to live in accordance with divine will, whether through the righteous conduct of life or fulfilling a larger, divinely orchestrated purpose. In New Age and spiritualist beliefs, the concepts of a soul's journey, including the choice of parents and soulmates, are influenced by a blend of ideas from various religious, metaphysical, and spiritual traditions, often combining elements of reincarnation, karma, and personal spiritual growth. These views tend to emphasize the soul's agency, purpose, and ongoing evolution through multiple lifetimes. Here's a breakdown of how New Age and spiritualist beliefs view these concepts. 1. Soul's journey. Reincarnation and soul evolution. New Age beliefs often incorporate ideas from Hinduism and Buddhism, but with a more individualized focus. The soul is seen as a part of an ongoing process of growth, learning, and spiritual evolution across multiple lifetimes. Each incarnation offers the soul a new set of experiences, challenges, and opportunities for self-discovery, personal growth, and lessons. The central focus in New Age philosophy is that the soul is here to learn and evolve. Life is viewed as an educational process where the soul encounters situations that help it develop virtues like love, compassion, wisdom, and understanding. Past life experiences, including karmic lessons, play a key role in determining the lessons that the soul needs to focus on in future lifetimes. 2. Choosing parents. Pre-birth planning. In many New Age and spiritualist views, it is believed that before reincarnating, the soul has some degree of agency in choosing the circumstances of its next life. This includes choosing the family it will be born into. The decision is not arbitrary. Instead, the soul selects parents and the environment that will provide the right conditions for its growth, healing, and fulfillment of its spiritual purpose. Karma and lessons. The choice of parents is often seen as being influenced by karma, where the soul may choose parents who will offer specific challenges, opportunities for healing, or lessons related to past lives. For instance, if a soul had unresolved issues with a parent in a previous life, they might be reborn into that same family to resolve those issues. Soul contracts. Some New Age philosophies suggest that souls enter into soul contracts before birth. These are agreements made between souls about the experiences and relationships they will have in the next life. Parents, family members, and even future partners may be part of these agreements, ensuring that the soul encounters the right situations to facilitate its growth. Example: a soul may choose to be born into a family where it faces hardship or emotional challenges because overcoming those obstacles will help the soul learn patience, resilience, or compassion. 3. Choosing soulmates. Soulmates and soul families. In New Age and spiritualist beliefs, soulmates are often viewed as souls with whom an individual has a deep, pre-existing connection that spans across lifetimes. These connections can manifest as romantic partners, but they can also include family members, close friends, or spiritual mentors. Pre-birth agreements. Similar to the concept of choosing parents, soulmates are sometimes believed to be chosen before birth. Souls may agree to meet in a particular lifetime to fulfill a shared mission or complete unfinished business. The bond between soulmates is often seen as an intense spiritual connection that transcends the physical realm. Life lessons and growth. The primary purpose of a soulmate relationship, in this view, is often not just about romantic love, but also about spiritual growth. Soulmates may help each other learn important life lessons, overcome personal challenges, or heal past wounds. Their relationship is thought to be a vehicle for mutual growth and learning. Soul families. Some New Age philosophies expand the concept of soulmates to include soul families. These are groups of souls who are deeply connected and often reincarnate together, helping each other through multiple lifetimes. A soul might find itself with different family members, friends, or romantic partners in each life. But these souls are seen as part of the same soul family, working together toward common spiritual goals. 4. Past lives and karmic relationships. Karma and resolution. One of the core ideas in New Age beliefs is that souls are bound by karma, the law of cause and effect. This means that actions, thoughts, and behaviors from past lives can affect the circumstances of future lives. Souls may reincarnate with specific people in order to resolve past karmic debts, whether through forgiveness, learning, or healing. Reincarnating with the same souls. It is believed that the soul may encounter the same individuals across different lifetimes, especially if there were unresolved issues or unfinished business. These people could be family members, friends, or romantic partners, and the soul's purpose in encountering them again could be to heal past wounds, learn new lessons, or strengthen their bond. Example: a person who experienced a difficult relationship with a parent in a past life may reincarnate with that same parent to heal the wounds from that past life or to experience the resolution of that karmic issue. 5. Spiritual guidance and intuition. Spiritual guides. Many New Age beliefs hold that souls are guided by spiritual guides or angels between lifetimes. These guides help souls navigate their pre-birth planning, offering wisdom, encouragement, and advice as the soul prepares for its next incarnation. The soul's choice of parents and soulmate could be influenced by these spiritual guides, who help ensure that the soul's mission is fulfilled. Intuition and soul's desires. In this framework, the soul is often seen as possessing an innate sense of its purpose and desires. Through meditation, intuition, or spiritual practices, individuals may be able to connect with their own soul's desires and understand why certain relationships or life circumstances are significant. 6. Purpose of life and relationships. Soul growth. New Age philosophies often emphasize that the ultimate goal of life is spiritual growth. Relationships, whether with parents, soulmates, or others, are seen as opportunities for souls to grow, heal, and evolve spiritually. The connections we make in life, including family relationships and romantic partnerships, are viewed as part of a larger spiritual journey that transcends the physical realm. Healing and transformation. Relationships in New Age beliefs are also viewed as catalysts for healing and transformation. The challenges faced in relationships, whether with parents or soulmates, are seen as opportunities for deep emotional healing, personal growth, and spiritual awakening. Summary: choosing parents. Souls are believed to choose their parents before birth based on karmic lessons and soul growth. This choice is part of a pre-birth plan where the soul selects the right circumstances to evolve spiritually. Choosing soulmates. Soulmates are often seen as deeply connected souls that reincarnate together to fulfill shared spiritual purposes. These relationships help each soul grow and evolve, with their bond transcending the romantic or physical realm. Pre-birth planning and soul contracts. The idea that souls plan their lives, including family and relationships, before birth is central to many New Age beliefs. Souls may enter into contracts or agreements to experience certain lessons, relationships, and challenges. Purpose of life. The overall goal of life in these beliefs is spiritual growth, and relationships are viewed as key elements in this process. offering opportunities for healing, learning, and transformation. In essence, New Age and spiritualist views emphasize that souls have a level of agency in their life choices, including the selection of parents and soulmates, with an overarching purpose of growth, healing, and spiritual evolution through their relationships and experiences. In New Age and spiritualist beliefs, the journey of the soul is centered around spiritual growth, evolution, and learning through multiple lifetimes. Here's a summary of key ideas about choosing parents and soulmates. Soul's journey. Souls reincarnate to evolve spiritually, with each lifetime offering new opportunities for learning and growth. Past life experiences and karma influence the lessons the soul needs to focus on in the current life. Choosing parents. Souls are believed to choose their parents before birth based on the karmic lessons and spiritual growth they need to experience. This choice is part of a pre-birth plan, where the soul selects the right family and circumstances for its evolution. Choosing soulmates. Soulmates are deeply connected souls who reincarnate together to fulfill shared spiritual purposes. These connections are often seen as transcending romantic love, offering opportunities for mutual growth, healing, and learning. Souls may also form soul families that reincarnate together across lifetimes. Pre-birth planning and soul contracts. Some New Age beliefs hold that souls enter into contracts before birth, agreeing to meet certain people, parents, soulmates, etc., to fulfill spiritual lessons and healing. These relationships help the soul grow and resolve past karma. Purpose of life. The ultimate goal is spiritual growth, with relationships with parents, soulmates, etc., serving as key vehicles for learning, healing, and personal transformation. Life challenges are seen as opportunities for deep emotional and spiritual evolution. In essence, New Age and spiritualist views emphasize that souls have some agency in their life choices, including selecting parents and soulmates, with the overarching purpose of spiritual development and healing.